Hello, and welcome to this Family Building Society podcast, where we'll be lifting the lid on an emerging trend of adult children helping their mum and dad or grandparents to get a mortgage. We'll explore the reasons behind this, product availability for families who have reversed the traditional roles, and the importance of innovation in this small but important sector. I'm Samantha Partington, freelance journalist for Mortgage Solutions, and today I'm joined by two of Family Building Society's mortgage experts and business development managers, Neil Cadwallader and Arif Kara. So, the idea of parents or grandparents gifting or loaning younger family members money to get on the property ladder is common. It's one we're all very familiar with. But there is data to suggest that the reverse is happening too. So I just wanted to find out how common is this and what might be the reasons driving children or grandchildren to financially support their parents or grandparents. Neil.
Hi, Sam. Yeah, so it is a growing trend, and there's many reasons for it. I mean, life gets in the way sometimes, and things happen when you have kind of people later in life, especially if it's kind of maybe it was a husband and wife kind of combination, and sadly one person has passed away. Um, I will go as far as saying when you're looking at people in their 60s and 70s, when I look at these type of cases, invariably, rightly, wrongly, the man is the one with the big pension. He's got the one with the big income, and the kind of woman stayed home and to look after the children as a mum, and she hasn't accrued it. You get these scenarios if for argument's sake, maybe he's passed away, she doesn't have the income, and she doesn't want to move from the house she's actually in. I mean, we're a high kind of age lender. Can we go to 95 years of age on residential lending? So why should she move out? And then those sort of scenarios will bring in the fact that you have kind of younger family members who can actually help by various different ways. Um, and it may not be just that way either. It's not just rescuing mum or dad who are in the property. We do have kind of people who decide in their 70s that are rented all their life. I've done two cases like this in the last 3 years, and I love it. We've given a 25-year term to a 70-year-old person to go out and buy their first home because they've rented all their life. So, it's not all about kind of rescuing as such. It's also about positiveness, about getting people into a new home. But also, when somebody gets kind of older in life, it doesn't mean they have to then sell up, downsize, that sort of stuff. Um, One of the things that I am seeing a lot more, I'm in the Southwest, it seems to happen quite a bit there. Maybe kind of people kind of want to retire that direction, but it's two families coming together. Where you've got a younger family, and they've got kind of maybe their parents who are kind of getting kind of older in age. They both sell up and they buy a house together. It may have kind of an annex, two kitchens, that sort of stuff. As long as the makeup is there, we can look at these type of things because we're manually underwritten in the background, but it's multi-generational lending. And you'll then have younger people with their earned income, older people with their passive incomes or incomes from assets like pensions and investments, and it all comes together. But there are other areas as well that we can look at as well.
So they would all become owners, they'd be all on the property deeds. Is that right?
That's quite in that particular scenario, yes, they are. But again, whereas you could go to maybe a high street lender, and they wouldn't take the lending past a certain age because we have that upper age limit of 94, 95, depending on what product they choose. It means that everybody can go on the mortgage. We can still get a nice long term.
So, Arif, talk us through the other option that there is if younger family members want to help out the older generation.
We see quite a bit of this, especially from the demographic who took out interest-only mortgages along with endowments in sort of, mid to late 80s, early 90s. Some of that demographic have paid their mortgages off, have paid it down, but there are some who still owe the high street, 100 grand, 200 grand, 300,000 pounds on their mortgage. And unfortunately, their endowments have fallen short. Um, And because they're retired now, they're sort of in their late 60s, early 70s, their retired incomes is not as high as their earned income once was when they were working. So in this instance, they need help with affordability, and that's where the younger generation comes in. Now, just following on from what Neil said earlier, where if you got the source of incomes where an income which you do not need to work for, which we classify as being passive income, we can use that income to age 95 on a repayment mortgage. If you're 70 years old, you've got interest only mortgage, and your only source of income is a couple of small pensions. If you've got younger children who can go on the mortgage, but not the deeds, we can offer you a 25-year term on a repayment mortgage or 16 years on interest only mortgage and remortgage OE from the high street, meaning you will not need to move from your house. Because let's face it, people do want to stay where they are for as long as they can, because they build a community, they build a family network. And this is a very, very popular product. So make no mistake, joint borrow sole proprietor is not just for elder generation to help the younger. It works reverse to us as well, which is a real quirk because we can offer quite a lengthy term.
I suppose one of the things is really important here is that the advice that the younger borrowers would need to take, because obviously they want to help out their family, and it's a noble, generous thing to do, but they also do need to think about their own home buying journey or the impact that could have on their ability to get a future mortgage. So how does that work? How do they get that advice?
This is where the mortgage advisors, who are qualified, CMAP qualified, because a mortgage advisor's job, and there are some great advisors out there. It's not just to do a transaction, not ask any questions. You need to look at sort of the next 5 to 10 years, complete a very thorough fact find. You need to make the younger applicant aware that you're helping your parents on a joint borrow sole proprietor. You're going on the mortgage, not the deeds. Fine. So if you do want to buy your own place a few years down the line, you are still a first-time buyer because you're not on the deed. So therefore, there'll be no additional stamp duty payable for you. But the lender you want to buy a property from will factor in the mortgage commitment you are paying with the Fan Building Society on your parents' property, which may reduce your ability to borrow your full capacity, which may mean you'll need to get a one-bed flat, not a two-bed flat, or maybe not get a property at all. So the onus to give the full life cycle advice of such transaction lies with brokers. We're always happy to help. We jump on, we do a lot of Teams and Zoom calls with brokers. We're happy to educate and inform any that want assistance with such criteria.
So, Family Building Society doesn't restrict family assistance or high loan to value mortgages to first time buyers only, but many other lenders do. Why has Family Building Society taken that stance, Neil?
I think it's probably an historical stance, if I'm totally honest. Um, when I joined the Family Building Society 3.5 years ago from a kind of high street lender, um, to say the words that I was gobsmacked at what we'd actually lend age-wise. But the thing is, though, is that now to concede the type of applications we get in, the people we actually lend to, um, it's by far one of the safest demographics out there, really, to be honest. That the dangers of restricting these kind of products to the market obviously shout the fact that we need to get people on the property ladder. Not everybody is going to be gifted 100,000. Not everybody's going to be able to save 20% LTV, at 20% deposit, and that people are locked into kind of rents, which will stop them from getting on the property ladder. Um, Company, kind of Family Building Society, we're very used to being very comfortable with either high LTVs or high ages. So the combination is quite a settled one from us, and that's why we have products like the family product and also joint borrow sole proprietor, and we are able to take a pragmatic view on incomes, whether they be earned income or whether they be passive incomes from assets in the background. And so altogether, um, I mean, every case You've got to pick up the phone and speak to the BDM, because every case has a little quirk, and it's nice to get those quirks out the way. But that's what we're used to as family BDMs. There's 8 of us roaming around England and Wales, and that's we're used to dealing with these type of cases on a day-to-day basis. So yeah.
And whilst I suppose it's a great competitive advantage to have this kind of unique set of criteria, and so you don't want to obviously be having lots and lots of lenders come in and be starting to do the same thing. But do you think that it really should be a better served part of the market, this sort of more holistic look at intergenerational lending that family takes?
Yeah, definitely. I don't want anybody to come in and take the business office, obviously, but we're and I know you switch on the television, and when it comes to age, we are an aging population, um, and there is a lot of, as I've said on the previous podcast, that there's a lot of wealth locked up within that aging population. Um, and to get younger people on the market, or to accommodate older people sometimes, there needs to be that kind of ability to move and to flex with ages and incomes, and criteria. I just think that family building society over the years, have got a good handle on this area of lending. So we're very we're best placed to support it going forward.
Thanks very much. And that's all we've got time for on this podcast. I'd just like to thank my guests, Neil and Arif, for their insights. It's been really interesting. And thanks to everyone for listening. And in case you've missed our earlier podcasts, please do go and check out our discussion on mortgage affordability and our low and no deposit mortgages. Thank you.